Good evening, it's good to see you again on 7Edition. I'm Anand Watanasin, and these are your headlines. Pollution source traced to illegal dumping into Kedah Water Consortium sewage treatment plant. EPF says sorry after bedridden woman made to show up on stretcher to make withdrawal. And Indian Prime Minister defends citizenship law as toll grows in nationwide protests. The source of the odor pollution in Kedah Water Consortium's IWK sewage treatment plant in Bandar Putra Mahkota sewage plant, water treatment plant in Cheras has been traced to illegal dumping of waste into a manhole. This is according to the National Water Service Commission, SPAN, who stated that the sewage manhole hidden by undergrowth was used to illegally dump scheduled waste by unknown parties. The chemicals had found their way into the Semuanya River, polluting it. State Environment, Green Technology, Science, Technology and Innovation and Consumer Affairs Committee Chairman He Loy Sian, in a visit to the site, said IWK will now seal all 20 manholes in the area to prevent people from opening it. He also directed the Kajang Municipal Council and IWK to provide a 24-hour control at the entrance of the area. In a statement, the National Water Service Commission, SPAN, has also warned that stern action will be taken against those responsible for the illegal dumping. It is day 2 of taps running dry in 366 areas in the Klang Valley after 2 water treatment plants had to be shut down when pollution was detected in the Semuanya River yesterday. Meanwhile, Air Selangor said both the Sungai Semuanya and Bukit Tampoy water treatment plants, which draw their water sources from the Semuanya River, are still shut as the threshold odor number TON is still at 1. Both plants can only resume operations once the TON reaches 0. More than 1.5 million users have been affected in the districts of Petaling, Kuala Langat, Sepang, Ulu Langat and parts of Putrajaya. Air Selangor has since set up 11 local service centres and public taps for those affected. Air Selangor said at this point of time it's unable to tell when water supply will be resumed, as it may take some time and thus seeks the cooperation of consumers in this particular situation. Affected consumers have been advised to refer to Air Selangor's Twitter and Facebook accounts for the latest updates. The Employee Provident Fund, EPF, has apologised over an incident where a cancer-stricken, bedridden woman was made to show up at its Johor Bahru office in Johor in order to withdraw her contributions to the retirement fund. This after the sister of the woman, Nur Sheila Abdullah, shared a post on Facebook on Saturday of how she was forced to bring her bedridden sister on an ambulance stretcher to make the withdrawal. In the posting, Nur Sheila said her brother and her had earlier gone to the EPF office to make a withdrawal on behalf of her cancer-stricken sister, but was turned down as the EPF officer at the counter had insisted on her sister being present for her thumbprint and confirmation of identity. Nur Sheila then brought her sister, aged 56, back to the EPF office in an ambulance on December 17th. She claimed that her sister, who was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, had to be wheeled into the office for the confirmation. Her posting has since gone viral and shared more than 8,100 times. EPF said in a statement they have been in contact with the family and takes seriously any complaints from their members. Meanwhile, in Kedah, police are looking for a man who was captured on CCTV outraging the modesty of a 9-year-old girl in Sungai Petani. According to police, the December 13th incident took place at a surau. Initial investigation revealed that the incident occurred at about 6:30 p.m. The suspect was seen entering the surau compound before he called the victim, who was playing at a nearby playground. The victim then approached the suspect, and the suspect abused the child. The victim, who was in a state of shock, fled the scene and complained to her father. Kuala Muda Deputy District Police Chief Superintendent Shamsuddin Mamat confirmed the incident, noting that on December 19th, the victim's father had lodged a police report over the matter. The case is being investigated under the Sexual Offences Against Children Act 2017. In Johor, 9 individuals, including 2 foreigners, were charged at the Johor Bahru Sessions Court today on charges of being members of organised crime group Jackie's Gang between November 2017 and November this year. The accused were 34-year-old Fong Yang Ching, Tay Boon Sun, aged 47, Chong Jin Seong, 24, Wong Yok Moi, 51, Go Boon Kiong, 42, Chang Sun Fa, 31, Wong Tek Kwang, 37, and Thai national Anon Bunrod, 26, and Bangladeshi Mod Jaidul Islam, 31. They were taken to court under tight security, escorted by more than 10 armed police personnel. No plea was recorded from all the accused after the charge was read before Judge Kamaruddin Kamsun. All of them were charged under the Penal Code, which carries a maximum jail term of 5 to 20 years upon conviction. A court set aside January 23rd for remention of the case. Pulau Pinang Deputy Chief Minister P. Ramasamy said that the Chinese education group Dongzong has the legitimate and democratic right to organize the Chinese Organizations Congress on December 28th. He said the Congress is meant to discuss and forward some proposals to the government on the teaching of Jawi script in vernacular schools starting next year. In a statement, Ramasamy said, within the ambit of law, organizations have the right to hold meetings to express their legitimate interests on certain matters. He said the scheduled Congress seeks to present views to the government as to how best to go about implementing the cabinet decision. Ramasamy, who is also a DAP Central Executive Committee member, noted that the intention of Dongzong to hold a Congress must be respected in the spirit of democracy. He added that in the absence of endorsement of Dongzong, Chinese-based political parties might not have the legitimacy of the support of the Chinese community. The Congress, according to him, is not just to discuss the matter of the introduction of Jawi script, but also to chart a course for the future of the vernacular schools in the country. Ramasamy said the organisers of the Congress should be given the moral support to hold the Congress without placing conditions with the aim of improving the vernacular school system. The Malaysian Trade Union Congress, MTUC, today thanked the Human Resource Ministry for its offer to help resolve its suspension by the Registrar of Societies, ROS. Its president, Dato' Abdul Hamil Mansor, however, said the union never received a call from the Human Resources Minister, M. Kulasegaran, and that the offer to help MTUC was only made through a press statement. In a media statement, Dr. Abdul Halim said the ministry's offer to assist went as far as resolving matters with the Home Ministry. He said even though the initiative by the Human Resources Ministry was not directed at MTUC's President and Secretary General, we would like to thank the ministry. The ROS had earlier this week suspended the MTUC following a probe after it received complaints on the management of the union. It has since given MTUC 30 days to explain why it should not be deregistered. The suspension comes amid a war of words between MTUC and the Human Resources Ministry over the Labour Laws Reform Bill, which the union said was being bulldozed without consultation with stakeholders. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, Hong Kong protesters thrash shops in malls as tensions escalate. Do stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has staunchly defended India's contentious new religion-based citizenship law in an address to a mass rally in the capital, New Delhi, while elsewhere in the country, the death toll from violent protests against the legislation crept higher. Modi asked voters to thank the parliament for pushing through the law last week and accused opposition parties of making up lies about the amendments, urging protesters to avoid damaging homes and property. At least 17 people have been killed in the state of Uttar Pradesh, 4 in Assam and 2 in Karnataka, as police crack down on demonstrators. More than 1,200 people, including political leaders, have been detained after authorities tried to quash the protests that have spread to almost all major Indian cities. The new law bars undocumented Muslims from neighboring nations, including Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh, from seeking citizenship in India, while allowing those from other religions to do so. The action is seen as a precursor to a nationwide citizens registry that aims to weed out illegal immigrants, and which critics say is expected to be used against Muslim citizens by the government. Police in Hong Kong scoured through several shopping malls across the region earlier on Sunday, where masked protesters had gathered to press their demands during a week of bustling and hustling, of course, for the Christmas shopping period. Violent scenes were witnessed as scuffles ensued, with undercover cops deploying pepper spray at demonstrators who vandalized restaurants. About 24 officers entered Harbour City in the tourist district of Tsim Sha Tsui and carried out a sweep of the mall, teaming up with a group of undercover colleagues who had been stationed inside all afternoon. Several hundred masked anti-government protesters who had been in the mall for hours chanted slogans and focused on shops seen as pro-government to scare away consumers. Some shops were forced to close. Dozens of riot police later chased off and arrested some protesters off with retractable batons amid heated scenes and cursing. In one instance, pepper spray was used as a mob tried to charge at police after they briefly detained a protester said to have threatened one of the officers. In Yuen Long, hundreds of black-clad protesters held a sit-in to mark the 5th-month anniversary of an attack in a train station by an armed mob who beat up innocent bystanders and protesters. Police were criticized at the time for not responding quickly enough to calls for help. Besides police brutality, protesters demand the release of all arrested demonstrators and full democracy. Residents were angry at what they see as China's meddling in the city's freedoms, guaranteed under the one country, two systems formula. In other news, 12 civilians were killed in an airstrike by Syrian regime and its Russia in the country's last major opposition bastion, where a rise in violence has forced tens of thousands to flee. The bombardments hit the northwestern province of Idlib, which has been increasingly targeted this month by President Bashar al-Assad's forces. The bombing killed 8 civilians in the town of Sarakeb. 4 others were killed in separate airstrikes in other towns in southern Idlib, and 36 others were wounded. The bombardment comes as violent clashes continued for a 3rd straight day between regime loyalists and militants who dominate the province. Syria's war has killed over 370,000 people and displaced millions since beginning in 2011 with the brutal repression of anti-government protests. And now let's hop on to Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making the rounds in the cyber world today. Now, a video of 3 men involved in a scuffle at a Singapore parking lot on Saturday has gone viral overnight, with netizens describing the brawl as a result of watching possibly too much Ip Man. Police soon arrested the trio, including a 65-year-old man for a fray and for criminal intimidation, while they probe what actually triggered the fight. Here's the story. In a Facebook video shared by World of Buzz, the 3 men were seen releasing quick but shambolic blows on each other as one of them exited a blue car. Raucous voices from onlookers accompanied the fiasco that continued on for several seconds. One of the 2 men who were teaming up against the lone man then went into his car to retrieve an object. Subsequently, a woman was seen intervening between the men. According to the police, the incident took place at 7:42 p.m. at Teck Wai Lane. In the initial investigation, all 3 men were arrested, with the oldest of the bunch facing charges for affray and criminal intimidation. The video has since been taken down from Facebook. Now, what triggered some online musings were netizens' comments that the fight was inspired by one of Hong Kong's most famous movie franchises, Ip Man. Though the fight scene was nowhere near like the one seen in the movie, it is possible that the men might have gotten their moves from it. Welcome back. When the Lexus NX was introduced to Malaysia in 2015, it offered a great entry point into the Lexus marque. But as time went on, the imported from Japan NX got sidelined by the cheaper, locally assembled Mercedes-Benz GLC class, the BMW X3 and the Volvo XC60. Now, in order to keep the NX competitive, Lexus Malaysia has unveiled the new 2019 Lexus NX lineup, which combines lowered prices with improved equipment levels, making it an altogether more attractive proposition. Raymond Goh, who took one of the new variants for a spin, shares the details.
Lexus Malaysia has dropped the hybrid NX 300H, leaving the Urban, Premium and F Sport as the available trim levels. The twin-scroll turbo 8ARFTS is paired to dynamic torque control automatic wheel drive and a 6-speed conventional automatic transmission with shift paddles. The Lexus NX 300 has the capability to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 7.1 seconds and a top speed of 200 kilometers per hour. The biggest news is the addition of Lexus Safety System Plus or LSS Plus on all variants. The suite of safety systems addresses 3 key areas of accident protection: preventing or mitigating frontal collisions, keeping drivers within their lane, and enhancing visibility during night driving.
Immediately there's a vibration which tells you that, hey, you've changed lanes without putting your signal on. And that's good because there's no audio, it's just a nice vibration. Kind of reminds me of another luxury SUV.
The LSS Plus also includes pre-collision system with brake collision assist, active cornering assist, and dynamic radar cruise control.
Now there's what they call an active / adaptive cruise control, which you can use from 0 kilometers per hour, which means it will keep a distance and you can literally use it in the city. Imagine you can drive in the city and just let the cruise control take over. It will stop by itself and it will take off by itself as well. And it will keep a certain amount of distance.
Also new and available across the board is an adaptive high beam system for the 3-beam LED projector headlamps that came with a facelift. As for the rest of the safety kit list, the 2019 NX 300 comes with 8 airbags and a reverse camera with dynamic guidelines, with a premium variant getting the blind spot monitor and rear cross-traffic alert as well. Besides the LSS Plus and the LED headlamps with AHS, the NX 300 range gets 18-inch two-tone alloys, front LED fog lamps with cornering function, powered steering adjustment, dual-zone auto aircon with rear vents, electronic parking brake, 8-inch screen with remote touch controller, and the Lexus Premium audio system. The Premium also gets ventilated and heated front seats and power folding and reclining rear seats.
I must say that the soundproofing is also premium, which by the way is what Lexus has become famous for. Once upon a time when they first launched the Lexus, it was even quieter than the Mercedes and the BMWs, the European cars. It goes to show that a lot of work has gone into the soundproofing. We don't exactly know how much, how many kilograms of sound deadening pieces of equipment they've installed here, but it feels very premium.
Revised downward, the NX 300 Urban is now priced at 313,888 ringgit, while the NX 300 Premium is 333,888 ringgit. The NX 300 F Sport gets the biggest price reduction, from 404,000 to 349,888 ringgit.
And now it's time for My Game On, for the latest on esports and gaming news in Malaysia. Now, thousands of creative cosplayers have gathered for the annual Comic Fiesta convention happening at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre, KLCC. Hundreds of exhibition booths showcasing unique artwork and comic book memorabilia are on display at the annual cosplay event, which also features competitive esports tournaments. One Izul Islam has the details.
Welcome to the eSports segment with me, Wan Izul Islam. Happening here at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre is the annual Comic Fiesta. Now, what is the Comic Fiesta? It's where thousands upon thousands of people have gathered to showcase their favorite cosplayer, or as well as their favorite characters from in-game movies, from comics, and as well as anime. So many creative people here in one spot to showcase everything to anything. Like I said, thousands have gathered here to participate in several competitions, as well as attend and see all the different merchandises displayed at all the several booths. But one special place here at the Comic Fiesta, the new and established gaming city. This gaming city is the eSports hub where players can come and participate in eSports competitions and tournaments. One of those competitions is the eSports Corporate League, or the Corporate Esports Tournament, where companies from around Malaysia have gathered and are competing against one another in 4 different gaming titles. We have PUBG Mobile, Mobile Legends, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, as well as Dota 2. Now, to talk more about this initiative, the Gaming City, let's talk to some of our organizers here, as well as some of the players.
So the Gaming City, it's the 3rd year in a row. We actually fulfilled the 3rd pillar of an ACG event, which is the gaming event. What we want to do is to bring a lot more, gaming activities into the ecosystem within Malaysia. And we believe that Comic Fiesta is a very good marriage, right?
I mean, I think this is my first participation, first time joining this kind of tournament. But I think it's a very good effort and very good initiative. Because, sometimes we at the workplace, sometimes we do play games just to release tension and together with our friends during lunchtime and whatnot. But now it has to, now it's another level, which we represent our company and playing in the esports industry.
A wonderful initiative indeed, the eSports Hub or Gaming City here at Comic Fiesta. Now, like I said before, there is the Corporate Esports Tournament where Media Prima are also participating. We have 5 teams in the knockout rounds. Prizes are in store, as well as a trophy such as gaming peripherals, gaming mouse, gaming headsets, and keyboards will be awarded to the winners, or the top 3 for each games. There's 4 games that are being played, which is Mobile Legends, Dota 2, PUBG Mobile, as well as Counter-Strike Global Offensive. All these players from all the corporates around Malaysia have gathered to share that camaraderie, that spirit of esports within the Malaysian esports community. Now, that's all from myself, Wan Izul Islam, here in KLCC with my cameraman Haji Faisal. Now, let's head over back to studio. Catch you again next time for the next esports segment.